Excuse me, guys. Hi, everyone. Welcome along to Sunday Market Analysis Show. It's my name is Paul Botterill, and it's my great pleasure to have you along with us today. Just working our way onto the various streaming platforms that follow us, and I'm going to get underway straight away. Let's get into this. I might need to get rid of that. Look, it's been a fascinating week in the markets, so we're going to talk about the week ahead, but in the week just gone, we first of all saw Bitcoin make a run up around 11,000. I don't have that number because I'm on my my Fusion chart for the pop account. Doesn't have the crypto, but I'll have a look at my live account a little bit later on and give you guys a bit of an update on that. But around 11,000 from memory. A bit different doing the stuff on the laptop. The boxes get in the way a little bit. Looks good to have your company. Been a really interesting week for mine, and a really interesting week around stock markets particularly. And I know we're a forex trading education company, but I still like to have a look at this stuff. And look, for mine, right now I'm going to say that this bar is pretty important. And we've seen a same low, so same high. So we've seen this market run up. We've seen it pull down aggressively on the NASDAQ. Now consolidate, and it's closed on the bottom, and it does look to me as if the NASDAQ maybe about to range. We are on serious support here. You can see the level coming through here, highs here, lows there, and Monday morning is going to be fascinating for this. We get a 4-hour close below this level, and all honesty, certainly here 10,350 comes into picture, and potentially I would have thought that 9767 comes into focus pretty quickly here if we get a close under this level on a 4-hour or daily chart. Similar type story with the S&P in the week that's just gone. Again, for me, this bar pretty influential. Now on the S&P, we've got a high here and a lower high here. We've got a low here. I'm going to call it the same low here. I'm going to say again, looks a little range bound, but if we got a little close below this sort of area here, then again, we would see some targets come into play pretty quickly. Hey, Geoff, nice to have you on board. I'm not sure. Yep, we're okay. Certainly this kind of level here would come and play on the S&P 3276. And if we bring in a little bit more data, and this one here would be a clear target, 3229. So again, really looking for closes below these levels on 4-hour daily charts, or another lower high on either the S&P or NASDAQ, popping up, giving us another lower high and having another run at this, and I would be starting to get pretty bearish. So interesting week. On the other hand, gold continues to do absolutely nothing and run completely sideways. Got to say, I'm pleased to have our resident gold expert, Ainslie, coming in to do this one for me a bit later in the day. I will just move that over there. And what I am going to do here, I'm just going to jump on my chart. I'm just going to change my background color. It's a little bit lighter. It's a little bit hard to see some of this stuff. There we go, white on that background. And here's what I'm going to show you on this for mine. And again, for mine, often at the start of ranges, there's a bar that controls it. And this is that bar for me. You could argue it's this bar here. There's still been, let me show you the triangles here. I'm talking about the rectangle I'm talking about. If you want for gold, we can use this bar here. I'll tell you what, I'll change that background color again, because that's the same color as the, just looking for a lighter gray. We'll try that. We've still got no closes below the low of this, so you could use that bar here. But what I'm going to do with gold is I'm going to say that I think the bar that really put us into this range was here, and that really we need to get a break of this bar before we have direction on gold. And often at the start when you're looking at ranges, you'll generally see an extension bar and a decisive bar like that. A bar like that or a bar like that opens at the top, closes at the bottom. There's no mucking around about where it's going, and then the market starts to fight it out. So fascinating week for mine. NASDAQ looks weak, rangy to weak. S&P rangy to weak. Gold looks rangy. Euro, wow, it just continued to do absolutely nothing as well. And again, You can see the box that we're in here, and I think we can tighten it up a little bit. I think maybe, you know, pop up to around here on that box here. But still nothing going on with the euro, and for mine, I need to break out of that out of these levels before I can get interested in trading this as a direction. You know, often they tell us that the direction it goes into, it'll come out in the same direction, which means going up, which makes buying the bottom of the range an option with TP1 at the top. But I wouldn't be doing that. I'll be looking for a failed breakout to get me into this. Failed breakout short, close back in the bar above the break bar. That could interest me. Julian was talking about that in one of our sessions earlier on. Dollar yen is the different one. Dollar yen didn't do nothing. It got on with it, and has also now broken down. And when you bring in some data here, has broken down to what is clearly a pretty important level here. Bottom of this extension here tested, and has at this stage held. I'll put the level on for you guys. And you know, that's a we've only really seen one close below that on dollar yen for quite a while now. That's March, but even if we go back a little bit further than that, closes below our level are pretty uncommon, and not a lot of support sitting around for dollar yen. You know, not a lot of support sitting around for dollar yen at all. Interesting to see also here we've closed on this old historic low. So Monday morning again, interesting time. I don't think Monday morning is a big trading time for me as I look at this week. I just think I want to see here. Look, we get a bounce here, a close above this. You know, you could interest me that this might be a low, and I might have a chance to trade a little bit of a retracement up to around this level here before I go short again. You get a break and close below this level, and I think we're heading potentially down around here. Okay, I'll just put that level on for you guys so you can have a look at it. So, as I said, it's been an interesting week, but it lays up for an even better week. And for mine, here comes the Kiwi, another dark background here. I'm going to leave it. And again, what's fascinating for the Kiwi is where it got to. You know, the Kiwi up here, I can't actually read that. 67.59. Some decent money on the Kiwi. And again, what I'll do is I'll bring in some data. And what you see is we haven't been above it for a while. That's that high there. Let's bring on a weekly chart. And, you know, you go back here to 2019 before we saw the Kiwi above this. Coming off some pretty big lows too. So interesting weeks ahead. And I would watch the Forex Factory news for the Kiwi dollar on Tuesday with the interest rate rights. I'll talk about that as we get into that in a few seconds. We're going to share that with you guys next. Let's have a look at, as we should start every week in my view, what's coming up on Forex Factory. Let me see if that'll get me into where I want to go. I don't know if it will. Let me just find out why. Oh, there we go. We'll go there, and we'll go there. So Forex Factory, this is the free news page, one of the popular ones. I often use the Fusion Markets one, but it doesn't appear to update over the weekends. So interesting stuff in the week ahead. We start off with this bank holiday in Japan on Monday. While the markets will be open, while the Japanese markets closed, it does potentially provide a bit of an opportunity for us to break through. These times are Singapore times. So interesting then, Powell. He's got a ridiculous week. And Geoff, you may have some more idea. Wouldn't mind having Ashton for this. What a crazy week Powell has. So he speaks on Monday, fair enough. Bank holiday Tuesday in Japan again. That makes me think that yen could get pretty weak without the Japanese there to buy it. Bank of England Governor Bailey speaks. Fed Chairman Powell testifies. New Zealand dollar official cash rate, well, it's going to stay at 0.25, but I think this statement could be really interesting. The Reserve Bank of New Zealand is clearly instructing the banks to get ready for negative interest rates and has a clear intention to go there. Now, they won't go to zero while they can't go to minus 2.5 because they're stuck. They want a little bit left in reserve. So they've left that little bit there. But when they have the ability to go to minus 2.5 or minus 5, I think minus 2.5 is their target. I think we'll definitely see a cash rate roll down to zero in New Zealand. If they were to signal that clearly on Wednesday morning New Zealand time, I have a feeling that we would see a bit of a sell coming in the Kiwi. Certainly, we have got the Kiwi popping up on good coronavirus news on Friday, but the news over the weekend isn't quite so good on the coronavirus front, with an infection from someone discharged from our quarantine system, apparently after 14 days. But you can guarantee with our government, we'll find out at some stage that they will let go early or weren't tested properly. One of those two things will happen, and I think that might spook the market a little bit as well, given how much coronavirus news has impacted on the New Zealand dollar. The French flash services PMI, don't worry about the word flash. There won't be that flash at all. German, the same. Manufacturing and services number. Interesting numbers, these. US dollar flash manufacturing PMI. Look, Fed Chairman Powell testifies. So he's spoken, then he's testified, then he testifies, then he testifies. Busy week. We must do some work on if he's really doing all this stuff. Look, Swiss National Bank monetary policy assessment. That'll be interesting as well. There is a little bit of talk in the market that the Swiss are looking to get involved with currency control again. I'm a skeptic. I can't see them doing that after the disaster that it was last time, but it's possible. Fed Chair Powell testifies again, and Treasury Secretary Munkin speaks. So interesting week. And then obviously good news for everybody else, bad news for me. Daylight savings comes in New Zealand on Saturday night, which means that I'll be 5 hours ahead instead of Singapore and up even later at night trading. But for everybody else, New Zealand, good news as that comes in. Key news in the week ahead for me, anytime Fed Chairman Powell speaks is pretty important. If he is going to do all this stuff, that could be for a pretty interesting week. I think RBNZ rate statement, the official cash rate's a done deal, but in my humble opinion, but I think the rate statement's pretty interesting stuff, to be honest. I'd have a little bit of interest as well in that Swiss National Bank monetary policy assessment. There is some talk about what they're going to do. And Bank of England Governor Bailey speaks. A bit of talk about from him, a bit of interest in him as well, with the Brexit stuff looking a lot like the Brexit stuff, actually. Complete indecision and a mess. It looks exactly like it always does. But getting closer to a deadline, we may see some comments around that from Governor Bailey. So that is me, and that is